So today we are talking about sea urchin, uni, a seafood by any other name.
Yeah.
What exactly is sea urchin, and why do we sometimes call it uni?
Well, uni is actually the Japanese word for sea urchin. It just I think it's because it's so popular in that genre of cuisine. It's kind of just taken a hold of that's what it is, and it's short and sweet. I think a lot of people are under the assumption that it's like a roe sack. It's actually not. It's the reproductive glands. Each sea urchin has 4 or 5, depending on the kind.
You know, that's why people give it another name. They're like, it's just sea urchin. We don't want to think about reproductive glands.
No, we don't want to know what it really
delicious.
is. Yeah, exactly. As long as it tastes good.
Right. And so, you know, a lot of people assume sea urchin just comes from Japan because they associate it with sushi, but you can actually get sea urchin across the world, and there's American sea urchin that's very good.
The Japanese are the #1 buyers of the Santa Barbara sea urchin out of California. So they actually have a preference, I think, to ours as well. We also have sea urchin from Maine. Has a little more salinity to it.
And so for people who are maybe a little bit afraid of tackling them at home, you know, where can you buy it? Should you serve it raw? Can you cook with it? You know, where do people even begin?
I mean, the most popular way to eat it is in raw form, obviously over rice. But you can do a couple different things with it at home. You can make salads out of it, like incorporate it into salads. Getting it, your probably best sources would be a place like, say, Lobster Place that sells to both restaurants and, you know, consumers. Those are typically probably the best places, but I know that the Santa Barbara facility that processes most of it actually sells direct as well. So you can buy it direct.
You can order it online if you want.
Exactly.
And how do you know that it looks good? You know, when you're going out and you're saying, okay, like I don't want to get people sick, or I'm going to have a dinner party for people, you want to know you're getting a good product. What do you look for?
I mean, smell is a huge thing, obviously. It should smell fresh of the ocean, a little melony. But, you know, discoloration, if it's like really brown, obviously that's, you know, not good quality. Or it shouldn't be dried out at all, shriveled in any way, stuck to the container it comes in. Those are usually signs of age.
And once you have your uni or sea urchin at home, what are the types of flavors that it typically pairs well with if you don't just want to serve it, you know, on its own, and you can stop yourself from just grabbing it out of the box?
True. And a lot of times I think of it as like a clam almost on steroids. You know, it has that beautiful kind of sweet shellfish flavor to it, but it also has this really amazing creamy richness. So if you think about that and you compare it with, you know, different acids, you know, from vinegars to citruses, you know, wine even, you know, we've made butter out of it, you know, that we incorporate into pastas, which is an unbelievable way to add like this crazy richness to it. I mean, it's really rich, it's great, you know. But it's a matter of kind of understanding what it is, and you can only do that through tasting. And then kind of thinking about it and putting yourself, I mean, people put themselves in a box all the time. Getting outside of that box.
You're gonna cook a dish for us today that can be easily made at home.
Yes.
What are we making?
Our focus on our uni dish that's on the menu right now is citrus, in particular grapefruit. That's going to be squeezed right over it with the little segments, and then we're going to just top it with a little tempura Mizuna. That's going to bring a little bit of pepperiness from the Mizuna and the crisp crunch for texture. So a pretty easy dish to do at home.
Sounds delicious. Will you show us the steps?
Absolutely. So the first step in our dish is actually going to segment grapefruit. So pretty easy. Kind of got to get a little bit aggressive in the cutting aspect of it to get all that pith off. Then what we do is you just take your knife and just kind of pop them out just like that. So you have these beautiful little segments. Again, working around, making sure not to get any pith. Then this we're actually going to save because we're going to squeeze this just by hand just to make the vinaigrette. Now with these, I just like to cut them once or twice. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these guys, kind of arrange them. Then we're going to take our uni, take our spatula, We kind of gently, we're just gonna kind of arrange them nicely. About 4 pieces is usually what we do. So this is the kind of the base, the platform of it. But we need something to kind of bring it together and to add a little more interesting flavor. So what we actually do is we kind of take this, just give it the lightest squeeze. The interesting element of this is actually truffle oil. Uni has that kind of egg richness, so truffle oil is actually kind of a natural element that goes really well. We're gonna add a little olive oil as well, again, to balance out the acidity. The next thing we do, we take like little summer truffles or Perigord truffles, and we freeze them, just to give them a little kind of extra element of truffle. Then we get a little onion element, add a little bit of chive for texture and salinity. Little Malden salt. Now the one element now we're missing is the real kind of punch. So what we do is we have a tempura mix, a little bit of club soda. So to make it, don't want to over stir it, just kind of until it's combined. And we take a little leafy greens called Mizuna. Gently coat when we come to our fryer here. Drop these into the fryer. Just till they're crispy, usually about a minute. So we shake this up just to get that little excess oil up. And then further that. So you take that, and you just kind of gently build. Gives the dish a little visual appeal, a little height. So here we have our uni salad, grapefruit, truffle, and tempura Mizuna.